Okay, guys, so let's go on to EP4 right now. Now, last week was a pretty tremendous week, to be honest with you, and I hope you all managed to follow the Twitter handle, and there will be a private Twitter for you guys too soon, in a few 2 to 3 weeks when a few targets and personal goals are hit. I will be releasing that, and you guys will all have the access to that. Now, yeah, so where to start? GA. So let's start with GA. So last week on GA, what we're seeing running from the weekly time frame is that a severe high was made. Okay, prior to the prior high, 1.8423, and then we had the high not too 25 30 pips. However, what the main component here is that market dumped, okay? And when the market dumped within the week, we stayed within, so it's more or less not an inside bar because the wick takes out the prior, but we can see the price remained within the weekly low. Okay, so the weekly low, this area right here is the daily, which you put on, but the previous weekly low is right here. So we're more or less, it could consolidate for a while on the grand picture, but what we can do now is we scale into the day and look at how the day performed. So the daily performed pretty drastic on the Friday. So Friday was the last day in which it actually made that high. So we have one drive, two drive, and then we have the third drive there as well, right? So with that being said, we have it's bearish engulfing as well, guys. But you can see across here where this area has capped at 1.8423, okay? So with that being said, what I expect going forward is a push into 8.2, maybe 8.168. So market could, okay. Okay, we're looking at, okay, give me a second, guys. Okay, so the market could push, give us a small pullback to area 1 or area 2, 8313 and 8330, and then push down into 8200. Now, is there anything else I need to note and label there? Yes, there is. I would take the low of Thursday, okay? Take the low of Thursday, and that could be quite a supportive region, depending on how this market wants to open. But as you can see, we had drive 1, drive 2, 3, and then 4 if you want to count this one as well. But it looks to me as if GA in particular is going to fucking dump, okay? And I don't really see, unless something drastic happens fundamentally, check astronomics this week, unless something happens drastic, I don't really see the market pulling up and gaining the strength to come back into these regions. I see it pushing into 8313 and then collapsing, So with that being said, I feel, okay, let's have a look on the week. I feel that the weekly grid has been met. I think weekly highs have been solidified right here, but we are within the prior week as well. So 8167, I do see that price point coming in this week. I feel like the 4 drives that we have, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, being specific, and the market ripping back to the downside on Friday, I feel a small pullback is necessary. Let's mark this to a T. The degree on the Thursday low right there, and then we can see the pullback 8315, and then we're going to dump into 8200. So going a little bit lower, what I'm looking for, let me mark this chart right up right now. What I'm looking for, guys, is, okay, so let's have a look at what's going on at these lows. So that's the daily low right there, and that's where it was printed, okay? And it was printed at 10 p.m. The daily low was printed at 10 p.m. And yeah, with that being said, I feel like we have the confluence 1 and 2 here as well. So I would be cautious going into Monday, Tuesday with this one, okay? Because we could see a spike through here to take out that low and print a daily wick, and then come back into 8315, 8328, 8330. I would think worst case scenario is here before dropping even further. But other than that, we had some good markups on this chart, as you can see. What was a good move was when we pushed into one of the weekly areas, and that's okay. So we've got the 30-minute markup right here, but if we go into the 7-minute, okay, we've got some good 7-minute reactions over here as well. So as an example, I would go through and boom. So we'll look at that. Other than that, that was the third and fourth spike high that was created. Easy markup there with the 7-minute time frame, and you got all these swing lower highs, intraday lower highs that have been created. But again, over here, so when that daily was created right there, okay, again, simple markup. So we got the 7, bringing the 7 across. So my mouse is lagging a little bit. Bring the 7 across, and then we also have, okay, lower swing high, prominent high, boom, boom, boom. Come back into the lows, 1 and then 2 right there. And then market reverses. I think the structure at this time was semi-bullish looking at the day. Okay, and as you can see here as well, push down, push down, push down. So we have high 1, 2, 3, push down. Weekly grid has stopped that. 1, 2, 3. Then we have the push to the upside, and same again. Weekly grid stops it respectfully. Boom, back down. Higher low, higher low, higher high. And then I do believe that we're going to start to melt now anyway. But let's just go into the 2-minute on this, see if there are any solid examples that we can work towards. So on the last few videos, I just set up tooling and showed you some of the things to look out for. So I have a little brick there, boom. And then over here right now, there isn't really this melted so much that there isn't too much structure to work from, apart from these areas. So break, retest, okay. Over here as well, we have one, two, breach drop, okay. Here we go again. And what I would look for more or less around here is consolidation, areas of structure to be printed and implemented, okay. And then the market to start to rise and rally over there. Yeah, so with GA, it's relatively straightforward, quite clear. I would look for buys into these regions, and then I would look to slam the market. And I don't know why I started on GA first. However, it doesn't matter. All right, going on to the euro. Right, so again, friendly markup right now. I was just so busy last week with just destroying these charts that I didn't upload anything in the in midweek. Okay, so I'm making up for it right now, but I hope you guys are gaining some good insights over here. So look at the euro. So imagine, okay, we had these markings on. Okay, we had the weekly high there. This new weekly high has been created, but can you see this weekly high on the previous week is below this band and region? So we've got the initial band, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and look at how last week reacted and responded. So we opened a little bit higher. We made the high through the weekly. 1.2242 is a prominent region. Market reverses, makes a massive low to 100, and then closes more or less within. Let's have a look at this. Okay, I don't know if this is right. So that there, we have the high, we have the low, and you can see we have this kind of inside bar again, but the wicker's breached to prove that. It's kind of the similar thing that we're seeing on GA. So we could start to again be range bound. Looking at this right now, if you look at these highs on euro, we are at like multi-month highs on the euro dollar. It really depends again on US 10-year, so keep up with astronomics for this, but this is starting to break a little bit lower. And if we do have some news regarding that coming into the third quarter now of the year, then Euro USD could just do a complete fake out to the downside and start to rally. So yeah, with that being said, let's look at the day. So the day may provide an ounce of clarity more than the weekly. So let's look. Higher low, higher low, higher low. This area surprisingly, okay, has been breached. So what we could maybe possibly see now is drive 1, drive 2, drive 3, and drive 4. Complete change in structure, prominent high, lower swing high, lower low. So prominent high, lower low. Okay, no, newfound low, sorry. Lower high, lower low. Could we then pull back, guys? Okay, euro dollar, pull back into the area of 1.2238 and then start to sink? Or could we survive? So as you can see here, look at our weekly grid areas, okay? Look at that respect that it gave. Stayed within this boundary, but now it's locked within this one and this one. And also here we're taking the daily low, which is back above again. So we have a fake out. We stayed within this one, and now we are looking, okay, we are looking to, it's major decision time. But if that 10-year yield starts to come a lot lower, then we could see euros go to the highs. What we really need to do over here, though, is we have to breach back above this area. Okay, look at these regions, 1, 2, 3. Okay, actually, I'm gonna take this one off for now. Okay, I'm gonna keep this one on here, but we have 1, 2, and then upside 1.2243. Let's have a look at the 30-minute, because yeah, we had the lows that were created. So over here on euro, we had 30-minute area 1. One sec, OCD kicks in. Okay, 1. Then we had 2. Then we had 3. Then we have 4 there, but it's capped by the day. And then we have these areas over here as well. So bringing this across, can we? No, it's not really too relevant, but you can see the lower highs, lower lows being formed. But now what we need to be aware of is this, okay? Euro to the down and then euro to the up. So I would personally wait for that buy for now, because we could be in a state of confusion. Again, it's fundamentally based. US, sorry, I'm going to throw in the dollar index as well, not on this video, on the next one, and we can correlate that with euro, 70 to 80% correlation on that, and then matched with the 10-year, we can get some good euro insight. All right, so 30 minutes, sorry, and then we come into the 7-minute. All right, looking at the 7, I would look at wait for euro that needs to breach this 1, 2, into the lower realm, and then you can see across here, you can see it by eye. This is a pretty good buy area. I feel if euro wants to rise, we're not going to see a breach of this zone over there, because this was what, this is pre-NFP. So I feel like a lot of traders will be trapped at that level as well, so we have to consider that. But probably we will give some false hope to the downside and then start to rally. I'm going to go over gold now as well. So gold on the weekly is quite interesting right now. What we've seen on gold, is, one second guys, given weekly structure on gold, again, same as G8, same as euro, we are seeing, okay, again, it's not an inside bar because the low of the week has breached the prior week, but we are seeing price action stay within the previous week's region and the range. Coming into the daily time frame, now what's super important here is that we had the fake out on the Thursday, we pushed lower, we made the previous low. Let's take this as a prominent level, 1851, 1852, nearly psychological level 1850, but at the same time this area was not breached, and as long as gold stays above 1875, we can look for pullbacks on our lower time frames, and we can absolutely fucking buy the shit out of this. And we can see all of these structural levels have been respected to a T, but I personally am waiting for 1875 to be tapped, and then, because I really don't see or think, because this is the short that we took, that's the short that we took on the Twitter, okay, That's a short that we took on the Twitter on the Thursday. Coming into Friday, non-farm, we've spiked into the low, destroyed people right there. And there's going to be a lot of trap volume and trap traders here as well, taking that into consideration. So I do not think that gold will actually come back down to these levels, 1860. But we just seen exactly how price action is playing out on the weekly and on the daily. Weekly, we are in consolidation. Daily, we can see exactly where it's printed. So pull back and then buy into the few days ahead. I'm going to be posting this on my Twitter. And we are going to be slaughtering gold in the next few days. Yeah, so you can see here, even just going back in price, this entire spectrum, we're back in the spectrum, and we're back above this daily as well. Now, what I will suggest and will put on the table is that, let me just mark this on, guys. One. Okay, if we could even maybe hold above this, to be honest, we could be in for some shock. We could see the volume continue from this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to update this on Twitter in real time. I'm just giving you guys an insight and a heads up. What else we got on the table? GBP USD, super interesting, this one. I can't lie, hold on. Starting on a weekly as we do. Again, same structure. Weekly closure on GU is fucked. Breached the previous high and breached the previous low, so it's not an inside bar. Alright. It's not an inside bar, but we are below 1.4166. Coming into the day, mass consolidation for days on end, but again, we marked this out on one of the prior videos, right? So what we can see from that is this is the area in which volume is being squeezed. We are squeezing volume on GU right now. Okay, it's not rocket science. I repeat, it is not rocket science. Again, another pair, another instrument playing the same game. Daily volume is building. Where's it going to go next? Well, let's put it into perspective. So highs, let's look at this. Drive 1, drive 2, drive 3, drive 4, back into regions and ranges. Tail 1 and tail 2, it's making lower highs, sorry, a newfound low and then lower highs there as well. We are capped by this area, which is quite important. We could see open, tail into the high and then dump lower. But again, it's one of those ones where non-farm payroll kind of just sets the standard and resets the mark, especially going into the third quarter. Now let's look at this over here. Let's take this level, boom, smash it there. Okay, 1, 2, breach drop, breach drop. I had this marked out on Friday. To be honest with you, Friday is a little bit of a hectic day, trade-wise and analysis-wise. Why? Because I had to travel from Bangkok to Phuket, and it was a bit of a nightmare. I just wasn't fully focused and didn't have time to look at the charts. So I was predicting a short from this area. We did blow above that zone, 30, 40 pips. But now, look at that high there. Look at this high. Okay, that high where the crosshair is, this is stayed below it, which is vital. So I'm predicting something like this back into that level, and maybe even 1.4 potentially. I will keep you guys updated on the Twitter. But yeah, over here we had that major low there, pull back into the highs, and even this area as well. Right there. Ooh. Okay. Confluence 1, Confluence 2, Confluence 3. This area, base support. Okay, that is important because that's London switchover where we pushed into the high. So we know volume was collected here. And I feel that volume will be collected at this area again if we start to break through and smash the downside. So yeah, I've got a short bias on this one, but things can change. It can only be recognized Monday or Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Because because of non-farm, and that's just the servers of this market need to reset, put it that way. Now, going into the next beautiful currency pair. What do we see? I see a fucking, oh my god, looks a bit mad actually. Now, no new areas need to be drawn on, and again, guys, previous weekly high, previous weekly low, what do? We spike through it, reversal. This happens time and time again. This is why you have to get this correct and get it right and keep it neat. But yeah, other than that, we've come back below this weekly, so we're not trapped between A to B, we're now in B to C. So anything can happen here, to be honest with you. Daily is very interesting. Drive 1, 2, 3, and then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wicks. Take that away. And then this daily area has been snapped. So we were within this area, daily to weekly, and that's been snapped now. So I do think we're going to come down here and then back here. Potentially, we could see a push back into this zone before collapsing. It's going to be a tricky one, and again, we just need London session, Asia and London on Monday to actually show us what's good. If we go into this picture, right here, we can see, well, there's many structural levels which we could have picked up. Look at that. 1, A, B, C, D, okay, warm. Easy, light work, lower highs. Boom, look at that, how that small shoulder was respected. Boom, liquidity comes in, and you can see that. So what I'm looking at now, okay, just even on this 30-minute chart, is boom there, and I will go ahead and copy and paste that. 1, 2. Copy and paste that. 1 second, I'm just doing some recordings. But yeah, I feel that this area, it could easily be breached. But if not, we could tap here, then drop. But the structure is super easy to follow, super easy to read right now. And even on the 7-minute time frame, it becomes a lot clearer. So again, it's just rinse and repeat, guys. Rinse and repeat. So here, if you really wanted to, again, 2-minute time frame is going to provide extreme value in real market scenarios. Oh, come on, bro. Real time. But yeah, we could come into 133 extremely fast. That's more or less all of the majors done for now. And we have US 30, not really providing too much. But again, go and practice this, okay? Practice. Weeklies are king. Daily markups, beautiful. So that's what I believe is going to happen. I'll try to get another video to you guys Wednesday evening, Thursday, okay, with some of the stuff I'll post on Twitter. So yeah, we'll catch you up very soon. Thank you so much.